Hello caffeine fiends and welcome to another coffee review for www.getbeamed.com. I'm Vince the Mean Bean Machine and today we're looking at Mission Coffee Works Bells. Bells is a all-day, everyday blend according to Mission Coffee Works. So it's a blend from Brazil and Colombia, 65% Cerrado Mineiro of Brazil and 35% Suarez from Colombia. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a blend that is perfect for espresso, cafetiere, aeropress and stovetop, apparently. Now, I picked it up, one, because I got a code from my friends over at Reward Days, the app that I have previously mentioned that helps you quit kind of bad habits or whatever, and you pick up certain rewards. So one of the rewards is discounts on coffee. So I got a discount on this, thanks to a Reward Days discount code. But it's $8.25 usually for 200 grams. Now, I was drawn to this. I mean, Mission do a lot of good work. They've got, they claim they have ethical relationships, sustainable practices. They do a lot with their, they have this belief of people over profits, and they do a lot of that. So that's cool. So I like that. But I was also drawn in by the tasting notes that say chocolate brownie, marzipan, and dried fruit. So chocolate brownie, chocolate, great, sweet, sticky. I think rather than just saying chocolate, the brownie also kind of alludes to mouthfeel as well. So it should be kind of gooey and sticky and quite viscous. Marzipan, sweet, almondy. That's basically saying almondy but smooth. There should be a smooth finish to that kind of almond aftertaste. And then there'll probably be a little bit of kind of sugariness to it. And then dried fruit, vague, but kind of saying that kind of, I'm guessing that apricot-y sort of slight sweetness to it. So those are my thoughts. Now, you do get a little kind of postcard with information. Firstly, how to get the perfect grind for your espresso if you weigh and do all that extraction time and have the equipment to do so. But it also tells you about the farming, the country, the processing. So it's really good. It's just like a little crib sheet, comes with it. Lovely. So here we go. Looking at it, we'll start with the espresso, move on to the oat latte. And then, of course, I have my water for in-between moments. So, here's the espresso. Here we go. It smells of that stone fruit. It says dried fruit. I've assumed stone fruit there. That's what I've assumed. But it has that sort of apricot-y smell that I made an assumption on. So, it's interesting that was the last tasting note. But it's the first thing that springs to mind when I smell it. So, we'll give it a taste. See what we think. So, no kind of initial acidity. Really interesting. Because that dried fruit, it does come through. And any sort of sweetness of kind of with brownie and marzipan, you're going, that's going to be sweet, sugary. It's not really. However, there is a darkness there that you kind of would associate with chocolate, I feel. It's not like a dark chocolate, though. It's not so heavy and intense. It doesn't kind of punch through the wall. It's very much like, oh, there was a bit of something chocolatey in there. Marzipan I'm not particularly getting. Initially. Give it another go. There was a smoothness. There's a real kind of nutty smoothness, I suppose. But, again, not enough to justify, I feel, that kind of marzipan tasting note in the espresso. But, like I say, weirdly drawn to the fruitiness. But it's not so fruity. Like, if you tasted that without the tasting notes, you wouldn't go, yeah, that's fruity. But out of those three kind of options I've got there, at no point would I go, yeah, chocolate, marzipan and fruity. But I don't know what else I'd put in that place. I'm not saying it's poor labelling. I'm saying they're just not particularly prevalent, any of them, which is weird. But as an espresso, it's not horrendous. It doesn't clutch at you. It doesn't kind of make you go, good lord, that's horrible, dark, clinging, cloying coffee. You kind of go, yeah, that's a smooth coffee with a bit of fruitiness. But you just can't put your finger on things. Maybe that's just me. I'd almost be inclined to say kind of nutty. There's definitely a nuttiness there. And there's a cynicism to me. Well, let's say skepticism. Let's not go the whole hog, but there's a skepticism to me that says someone has said market that as marzipan as opposed to nuttiness. Just because it'll draw the eye more, grab more attention. Which may be unfair. But as an espresso, it doesn't set my world alight. It's not bad. But I'm not an espresso drinker. I'm not. It does have to be something quite special for me to kind of go, I'll drink that as an espresso. I am undoubtedly a milky drinker, a latte drinker. Although I don't drink milk, which is a weird kind of juxtaposition. Oat milk and things, you get me. Plant-based people out there. But yeah, nothing about that espresso sets anything kind of alight for me. I'm not going, wow! It's not bad by any means, and I think I could probably comfortably start my day with that without any kind of like, ooh. But no, not kind of ticking any boxes at the moment. So I'm going to move on to the oat latte, which is more of my jam, and I'm hoping that kind of sweetness comes out a bit more, with the milk kind of allowing the smoothness to allow those flavours to come more definable. So kind of a viscous mouthfeel for the brownie, and then a smooth, sweet marzipan. And I've had the dried fruit. I don't really want to look for it again, but here goes. Weirdly mild. I'm not getting a lot of it through. The brownie almost comes through as an aftertaste, which is bizarre. You'd sort of expect that to be more prominent. There is a chocolatiness to it, but then you kind of swallow and roll your tongue a bit, and you kind of go, ooh, there's a little bit of that kind of gooey cakiness to it. Not massively, but it's there. Marzipan, again, there's the smooth nuttiness is there, but nothing that I would kind of discern as marzipanish. Because marzipan is incredibly sweet and it's kind of, it's not sticky, but you know, it's got a certain texture to it that, I don't know if you can translate that into coffee, maybe. No, I think it's almost too mild for a latte. Certain aspects do come through. But not enough. I feel like the milk is really actually holding things back rather than letting things kind of come to the fore a bit more. It just holds it all back a bit. And usually when you put milk into a coffee, it brings certain aspects, holds certain aspects back so that other parts can shine a bit more. Is that it just feels, I don't know, it's a very pleasant way to start your day, I would imagine, but it's not setting my world alight. But maybe that's just me. It's a weird one, because I keep going back to it. Certainly enjoyable. I think, really, you have to search for it. You have to let your taste buds do the exploring. But I think, yeah, the brownie I get. I'm just lost at kind of marzipan, and then dried fruit came through in the espresso more so, and is sort of not really there for the latte. It's a bizarre one. I'm enjoying both forms of coffee, but they're both very mild, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think if you weren't a regular coffee drinker, but you wanted a nice sort of way to start your day, that would be a nice kind of intro coffee to those just building up their kind of first tentative steps into specialty coffee. And I like it. I do like it, but it's not, like I've said several times, it's not setting my world alight. But, I do concede that's probably my biases. I may well expect too much from those tasting notes of chocolate brownie, marzipan. I was instantly like, tick, tick. And that's there, just not to the levels I'd want. And maybe that's on me. And I do have to accept that. But I think it kind of says your everyday cup. Bold, chocolatey and sweet. I agree with that. It's an everyday cup. It's an inoffensive way to start your day. I think you could serve that to anyone and everyone and they'd go, oh, it's a nice cup of coffee. Yeah, I don't think anyone is kind of going to go, that's my favourite coffee in the world ever. But I think most people will go, that's a very pleasant coffee. Bell's is our classic blend. Ready to impress your coffee snob mates, but won't terrify your grandma. I think, yeah. Consistent and delicious through any brew method. Method? I went a bit common then. Sorry. Any brew method. And a fantastic espresso. Yeah, so I think that sort of sums it up a bit. Yeah, I'd serve that to other coffee. People who know specialty coffee without worry, without fear of reprise of, you drink this. But it won't terrify your grandma, as in, yeah, it's not got any bold, new, exciting flavours, consistent and delicious. When was the last time something that really kind of shook your world, you went, that's consistent? It's consistent is not a compliment. It's not a negative, but you kind of say, yeah, it's consistency is good. It's steady. It's I don't know. Maybe I was just expecting too much, and that's on me. I like this coffee. I feel like I've come across very negatively here. I do like this coffee. I really do. I just wanted more. But sometimes in life we can't get more, and that's the way it goes. Be grateful for what you get. Unless you pay $8.25 for 200 grams of it, then you're allowed to be a bit snobby about it. You know what? No, I paid for this. I will be. No, I won't be negative. It's a nice coffee. It's just not. I don't know. I'm obviously searching for the words here. It's perfectly pleasant. Pleasant, I think, probably sums it up, yeah? You don't kind of go on a date and go, yeah, it was... If you come back from a date and go, yeah, it was pleasant, you're probably not seeing them again. Like, nice meal, nice company, but the world didn't move, yeah? And I think that's sort of this for me, it is the average date of coffee for me. Like, perfectly pleasant, had a nice time out, probably won't buy again. Not gonna see again. I'd probably introduce it to my parents, knowing that it's a safe bet, not gonna upset them. But it's not the one. It's not the one I'll be walking down the aisle. This weird analogy is... I've just started rambling now. So I'll stop, go away and think about it, write up some notes, and get back to you. In the meantime, do hit those like and subscribe buttons. Check us out at www.getbean.com. Check out Reward Days, the app, on iOS and Google Play. Yeah, and I'm gonna go away and think about that and try and collect together some competent words. You know, something that makes more sense rather than me rambling about dates and marriage and you know, the world moving. It's been a long week. I'm pretty sure I said that in the video last week. Anyway, I'm going away now. So my final thoughts for Mission Works Bell's blend is that it's a 3-star coffee for me. A very nice kind of mild blend from Brazil and Colombia, so it's got kind of good origins. Extremely mild with rich chocolatey tones that you have to kind of search out. You have to really kind of think about it. Fruitier as an espresso, but it gets lost a little with the milk. It doesn't really come through otherwise. But, you know, a perfectly pleasant coffee, 3 stars, and I think a lot of people would like that kind of start their day. And it's like an all-day coffee. So nothing wrong with it, just a bit too mild for me in the end. So thank you for watching. Do hit those like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.